In this lesson, we'll cover the last of the 10 methods of association, translation. This method will take some time to master, but it fills a critical gap in the associative process by being able to convert any number into a concrete noun, which can then be associated. Let's get right to a demonstration so you can see its power. In public meetings, I'll have a member of the audience come up to the board and write down 20 random objects found in the room. The moment the list is completed, and with my back to the board, I'll repeat the odds forward from 1 to 19, and then the evens backwards from 20 down to 2. I do that here, but no one would believe I wasn't cheating. So you are going to do it instead. I'll help a little. Here's our list. Before we can make an association, we need a substitute for each of the 20 numbers. Here they are. I'll explain where these words come from later. For now, just make the associations. Number 1, picture a pen stirring a cup of tea. Of course, this ruins the pen. 2. Picture a glass flower vase being smashed against the side of Noah's Ark. 3. Picture a maypole with ribbons wrapped around it. In this case, picture a stapler at the end of each ribbon, swinging around wildly, whacking all the little kids in the head. 4. Picture a ray of light, like a high-power laser, burning a hole in the plastic water bottle with water gushing out. 5. Picture a cop holding a billy club and smashing a brand new tablet to pieces. 6. Picture biting down with your jaw on a pair of dirty socks. Yuck. 7. Picture someone walking up to a blackboard and scratching a key down the face of the board. 8. Use money for the word fee. Someone walks up to your freshly opened yogurt and stuffs a bunch of dirty dollar bills into the goop, ruining your meal. 9. Picture someone walking up to the air grill in the wall and squishing a bunch of green peas into the openings, completely clogging the airflow. 10. Picture someone lifting up the side of a desk only to drop it painfully on their toes. Yow! 11. Picture a crawling baby on the top of a bookcase, teetering on the edge. 12. Picture someone squeezing out some tanning lotion all over your brand new sweater. 13. A tam is a hat. Picture your hat covered with gum and now it's stuck to your hair. 14. Picture black sticky tar all over the trash can. Imagine trying to clean up that mess. 15. Picture the tail of an animal slammed in the door. Hear the howling? 16. Picture a window made of tissue paper. You touch it and your finger goes right through it, leaving a huge gaping hole. 17. Picture a giant tack placed on a chair and a person sitting down on it. 18. Picture the digital projector mounted on the ceiling, covered in taffy. It's slowly stretching over the sides and dripping toward the floor. 19. Picture your cell phone under a tap just as someone turns on the water. 20. Picture someone walking up to the curtains and wiping their nose on the fabric. Disgusting. Okay, now that we've made all 20 associations, let's check your memory. We're going to remove the list of items in the room, but leave the number substitutions. Let's try remembering each item, doing the odds forward, 1 through 19, and the evens backwards, 20 down to 2. Say the answer to yourself to prove to yourself that you really do know them. 1. Tea. What are you stirring the tea with? 3. May. What's at the end of each maypole ribbon? 5. Law. What is the billy club beating to pieces? 7. Key. What is the key scratching against? 9. Pea. What are the peas being squished into? 11. Tot. Where is the baby crawling? 13. Tam. What is stuck to your hat and to your hair? 15. Tail. The animal has its tail slammed in what? 17. Tack. Where is the tack placed? 19. Tap. What is about to get wet under the water tap? 20. Nose. A person wipes their nose on what? 18. Taffy. Taffy is slowly dripping down from what? 16. Tissue. What did your finger break right through, leaving a gaping hole? 14. Tar. What item is covered with sticky, staining black tar? 12. Tan. Suntan lotion is squeezed out all over what? 10. Toes. Someone drops something heavy on their toes. What is it? 8. Fee. Someone contaminates your food with dollar bills. What food? 6. Jaw. Something filthy is crammed into your jaw. What is it? 4. Ray. A ray of light, a laser, burns a hole through what? 2. Noah. What is smashed against the side of Noah's Ark? And there you have it. What seemed impossible just a few minutes ago is now easy with the proper tools. Imagine if the substitution list was already in your mind and could be recalled instantly in any order at any time. This is the translation method, and it's one of the most powerful memory tools ever created. You have a shopping list? Poof! You can commit it to memory as fast as you can read it. You're reading the Doctrine and Covenants section 27 and you want to associate it, but there's no entry in the number substitution list for the number 27. So you translate the number to neck. In section 27, Joseph Smith is going to buy wine for the sacrament, but is stopped by an angel who warns him that enemies will try to poison the saints with tainted wine. Water is approved for use in the sacrament. A person grabbing their neck after being poisoned is a perfect mental image for this section. Translation takes a little bit of work to perfect, but is well worth the effort. On the first day of class, a professor of a Doctrine and Covenants Institute class told his students that if anyone could tell him the general content of each section of the D&C, he would give them an automatic A for the course. That is easy using the translation method. Many instructors give a pretest on the first day of class to measure the student's initial level of knowledge in the subject matter. This exact same test is then given as the final on the last day of class. Voila! You associate each question during the pretest and have the final in your mind as you go through the course. This is a very useful tool to have at your disposal. Now let's make some sense of the translation process. It's actually quite straightforward and remarkably simple. This system was invented by Dr. Bruno First in the 1940s and published in his book Stop Forgetting. Every other memory book ever written is based in some degree upon Dr. First's original work. There are 10 consonant sounds in the English language, and so we assign each consonant sound to one of the 10 numbers. And there you have it. One is T. The letter T has one downstroke. 2 is N. The letter N has 2 downstrokes. 3 is M. The letter M has 3 downstrokes. 4 is R. The fourth letter of the word for is an R. 5 is L. The Roman numeral for 50 is an L. 6 is J. A 6 backwards looks like the letter J. 7 is K. A K looks like 7 with its reflection. 8 is F. A script F looks like an 8. 9 is P. A 9 backwards looks like the letter P. And 0 is Z. The word 0 starts with the letter Z. That's all there is to it. There are only 2 rules which apply universally to the translation system. First, the system is phonetic. Second, vowels have no value. For example, in the word toes, where the hard S sound sounds like a Z, then it counts as a 0. Or the word cat, where the hard C counts as the letter K. Silent consonants have no value because the system is phonetic. To create a word, we use the consonant and add vowels until we have a concrete noun. Every number can be translated into many different words. For example, to make a word out of the number 1, we start with the letter T and then add vowels until we find a concrete noun. Tea, tea, tie, toe, etc. We always try to use the simplest form of the word, that is, we start with the A of A-E-I-O-U, working through them until we find a concrete noun. Starting with the number 10, we have 2 consonants and we stick vowels between them until we find the simplest concrete noun. The number 71 is the letters K and T with vowels between. Cat, kite, coat, cut. Number 95 is a P or B sound plus the letter L. Ball, peel, pile, pool, etc. What is the simplest word for the number 41? That's an R and a T with a vowel between. The simplest word is rat. Right would work. Remember, the system is purely phonetic, but it's not the simplest form of the word. Wrote would work, but it's not a concrete noun, something tangible that we can envision for our association imagery. Let's put the translation system to work. The number 37 is an M and a K with a vowel between. M-A-K, M-E-K, M-I-K, there it is. Mic, as in microphone. Remember, it's phonetic. If it sounds like a K, then it counts as a 7. To use it for the Doctrine and Covenants, section 37 is the first commandment concerning the gathering in this dispensation. Picture an announcement being made over the PA system, the mic, about the gathering in the last days. You can combine translation with any other association method you want. For example, going back to section 27, the 2 is an N and the 7 is a K. N-A-K doesn't work, but N-E-K or neck does. We already associated a person grabbing their neck after being poisoned. Water is now approved for use in the sacrament. But we don't have to stop there. This revelation was given in August 1830 in Harmony, Pennsylvania. August translates to fee. The 30 of 1830 translates to mass, as in a mass of people. We now put it all together. A mass of people are poisoned with tainted sacrament wine and have to pay a great fee to get their stomach pumped, all of which is out of harmony with the Spirit of the Lord. We have now captured all the historical data for this section with a few simple associations, and they are all triggered by the section number itself. Now, you might not need to retain that much information, but it's nice to know that you can if you want to. Translation fills the gap left by the other 9 association methods. Translation will always work when everything else fails. Translation is particularly useful when dealing with larger chapter or verse numbers which don't have any inherent meaning. Take Alma 47, where Amalickiah poisons the Lamanite general to become head of the army, then kills the king to take over the government. In the number substitution list on the website, the only listing for the number 47 is Days of 47, meaning the celebration of the pioneers entering the Salt Lake Valley in 1847. It's a stretch to make the Days of 47 fit the story found in Alma 47. But if we translate 47, we get Rak, Reek, Rook. The Lamanite general is on his rack, his bed, after being poisoned. The Lamanite king is laid out on a rack or funeral pyre following his assassination. Both men reek after death. Rook is a stretch, but you could say that they gambled with their lives dealing with Amalickiah. Translation gives us many additional association possibilities the other methods might not. Our original list of 20 items now starts to make perfect sense. With a little practice, you can repeat the first 20 items in a few seconds. They become very familiar to anyone who uses the list regularly. With scripture associations, however, speed is not the goal. A simple familiarity is quite sufficient. Being able to look at a number, convert it into a word which is part of an association, is all we're after here. For example, section 57 is where the exact location of the Temple of New Jerusalem is finally revealed. The number 57 translates to an L and a K. The simplest word for 57 is lake. We picture a lake covering all of Independence, Missouri, with a gloriously white shining temple floating in the middle. The law will flow out from Zion. It's perfectly okay if it takes a moment to walk through the translation process in your mind to convert the 57 into lake. The moment you do, the word lake triggers the contents of the revelation. Equally important, thinking of the content of the section, the location of Zion, will trigger lake, which tells you the revelation is found in section 57. It works both ways. After you work with the translation method for a while, the numbers start to look like their name. That is, when you see the number 57, you see the word lake automatically. In the website, the translation method link includes all the information about how this method works, including a primary list of words for numbers from 1 to 100. Remember, you really only need to learn the letters from 0 to 9, and even they have a memory association. The value of practice is that it speeds up the translation process. Once you know the system, try using it on a shopping list or a list of tasks you need to do that day. We can use the system for 100 little things which are temporary, but we can also use it for permanent associations like Doctrine and Covenants section 27. Now, what was that section about?